Mess with a bull, you get the horns.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the final gaming vlog for this channel. Now, I know I just dropped a bomb on your face with that, so I'm going to definitely explain why that's the case. But before I get into that, I wanted to mention that the featured game for this final episode is Atlas Reactor. Those of you who've been around on the channel for a while will note that this was my favorite game of 2016. Still playing it, still love it, still think it's awesome. If you have not tried Atlas Reactor, I highly recommend you do so because it's absolutely still one of the best games that I've ever played. Having said that, it's time for me to break it down for you folks a little bit and let you know a bit about what's going to be happening here with the channel over the next month or so. This is a video that I have really not wanted to make, and it's a video that I'm not really super happy about making, but I think it's something that has to be done, and I think I've finally reached a point where I'm ready to take the steps that need to be taken and do the things that I need to do to kind of move forward and move beyond where I am on YouTube with this channel. The bottom line for me is that I feel as though I've kind of taken this channel as far as I can take it as a gaming themed channel. For the past 7 years or so, I've put out quite a bit of content here, most of it being gaming themed or gaming related. And the simple fact and the simple truth of the matter is that while it's never really been my intent to pursue YouTube professionally, I have tried over the course of these past 7 years to consistently improve the quality of my content. The problem in doing that is that the time that it takes to create content at the level that I've been creating it for the past year or so has gotten increasingly greater, and the amount of work involved in maintaining that has become more and more significant. And unfortunately, I've reached a point here in the past couple of months where it's become very apparent that that just isn't a sustainable thing for me moving forward. Had the channel really blown up over this past year and I'd gotten a lot more subscribers and a lot more views and a lot more engagement on my videos than I have, I think it would have been a lot easier to justify continuing with the channel in its current format and continuing to expand on it. That was kind of the trajectory that I had in mind, in that I figured I'd try to step up my game a little bit this year and really push to see just how far I could take the channel in 2017, kind of knowing that there would be a make or break sort of moment that would occur at some point where I'd have to either transition out of the hobbyist phase of YouTube and into a more professional mindset, or just kind of take a step back and do a rethink on exactly what it is that I'm doing with the platform. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, it's ended up being the latter of those two scenarios. And what that basically means is that the channel, as you folks have come to know it, is pretty much going away. So, what does that mean exactly? Well, for starters, gaming will no longer be the primary emphasis of this YouTube channel moving forward. I'm planning to do a couple more gaming related videos to kind of wrap up the year and close out 2017. Most notably, I'm planning to do one final initial impressions video for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 whenever that game's released this upcoming Friday. And I'm also planning a very special final State of the Game episode, which I think long-term fans of the channel will really appreciate and enjoy. So definitely stick around for that, if nothing else. Beyond that, I do have one more video planned for the end of the year as sort of a final farewell, send-off, blowout kind of thing for the gaming-related aspect of the channel. And then from that point forward, things are going to change pretty significantly. Now, I do want to make it clear that gaming-related content is not completely going to disappear from this channel. There is one particular series that I do intend to keep going, at least to a certain extent, and that is the Why It's Awesome series, which is probably, when you get right down to it, my favorite of the recurring series that have appeared on the channel over the years. For me and what I want to do with the channel moving forward, it's the thing that makes the most sense for me to keep, because it's really about featuring games that I think don't get the attention they deserve and that I think are really good and that I have a personal investment in. And I think really at the heart of it, that's the sort of content that I feel has to stay as part of the channel, regardless of view counts and that sort of thing. What I'll probably end up doing is actually expanding the format of Why It's Awesome to include things other than games. So there will continue to be Why It's Awesome episodes that feature particular games, but they might also end up featuring other things like music or movies or books or TV shows or other things that I find awesome. Beyond that, the focus of the channel is really going to be about me and my personal creative projects. In a lot of ways, when I first started this channel, that was really what it was intended to be about. But the thing that I ran into pretty early on was the simple truth that it takes me a lot longer to create things of my own than it does for me to talk about things that other people have created. And so, in an effort to make more frequent and consistent content for the channel, I slowly but surely started focusing and concentrating more on covering other people's projects instead of my own. And I think that's something I really want to address moving forward. What that means is that there are going to be far fewer videos on the channel in 2018 than there have been in the past couple of years. For example, in 2017, I will have released over 60 gaming related videos on the channel by the time everything is all said and done. What I'm targeting for 2018 is something more like 20 videos for the year, with an average of 1 or 2 per month. And what that will probably entail is one video about me personally and what I have going on and the creative stuff that I'm working on, and or most likely a Why It's Awesome episode about something. That's sort of what I have in mind, and I think that's something that's realistic and sustainable and something that I can do to kind of keep the channel going and keep it moving forward in a different direction that fits in better with the time and resources that I have available to me, and that frankly might be more entertaining and valuable to people watching me here on YouTube. I think for me to continue to invest in YouTube as a platform and continue to really have the desire and the motivation to continue to make videos here, I really need to change things up and focus on the things that I think are most important to me personally about maintaining a YouTube channel. And that's really largely what's driving this change. So, for those of you who are super sad and who don't like change and who are super bummed out about this news, I do want to mention that I do intend to continue to occasionally broadcast gaming related content over on my Twitch channel. Now, that's a very different kind of content from what you're accustomed to here on YouTube, so it's not a one-to-one substitute by any means. But if you just enjoy hearing me talk about video games or watching me play video games, there's actually quite a bit more content over on Twitch than I could ever produce here on YouTube, due to the nature of how live streaming works and the sort of content that you create by just sort of turning the stream on and letting things go and not doing any post-production editing and that sort of thing. For example, I recently released a review video here on YouTube for Kings and Heroes, which was less than 5 minutes long. But if you were to go over to my Twitch channel, you could see that I streamed 4 or 5 hours of that game while I was in the process of creating that review video. And I think that's really the best suggestion or solution that I could give to anybody who's disappointed about these changes. Just head over to my Twitch channel. There'll be a link in the description box down below for that. Give me a follow over there, and hopefully that'll be at least a somewhat acceptable substitute for folks. As I said, this isn't a change that I'm necessarily super excited about having to make, but I do think I've reached the point where I do have to make this change. There's just no possible way that I could continue to keep the channel going the way that it has been with the resources that I have available to me. And rather than just let it die or go away completely, I'd rather morph it into something else that's more sustainable. So I think that pretty much sums up what I wanted to talk about in this video. There are definitely some other things I could touch on, like some other games that I've been playing and that sort of thing, but I think I really want to just leave this a pretty pure discussion of what's happening with the channel, because I think that's really the big takeaway and the most important thing that I really wanted to talk about. If you folks do have any questions about any of this or would like some more clarification about why I came to this decision and why things are happening the way that they are, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll try to address any of those that I can in the final video for the year. As always, hopefully you folks have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button if you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, because yes, there will be more videos from me in the future. They just won't necessarily be gaming related. Be sure to hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.
You're my eyes and ears.
Ew! Just need time to think.
I'll show 'em how it's done.
Back into their nightmares.
I won't let you out of my sight. Cut it out!
I'll forgive you. My blade won't. Reap what you sowed.
Five turns remaining. Stay focused.
Dead meat. We'll see who's left standing.
I don't think so.
Evos could use more like you.
You dare strike me?
I got you in my sights.
Good thing they didn't aim for my head.
4 turns left.
They won't last a minute. Take your best shot. I'll take mine.
Bit of dental work for them pearly whites.
For your cage, your release.
Well, clean up in honor free.
3 turns remaining.
My word is final.
Zapped and sapped.
I've got just the thing.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm hot full of you already.
I
Two
am
turns left.
eternal.
Takes more than that.
Final turn.
I'm always ready. I'm giving you a running start.
Your blood will stain my blade. If you stand together, then you'll fall together.
Sudden death.
Gonna be a bloody good party.
A warrior never runs with a fight.
Good doggo. Fetch.
Kiss of the crosshairs.
Death cannot stand in my way.
The battle is not done.
Something for everyone.
Steady.
I can't be taken down.
The light fills you.
Bueno!
I'm gonna take you down.
Victory.